Hello everyone, it's great to have you within the four walls on TV360 Nigeria, the nation's first and only total educational TV show. I'm Mr. Adolf, the teacher. See what's on the green board. In this episode, the classwork holds what I call almost a book review of the most disturbing, thought-provoking piece of biographic book titled The Incest Diary. Then a preamble to the topic of the show, issues of special needs, before our wonderful guest join me for examination. Thereafter, grading and assignment will follow. But in the meantime, let's catch up with the trending news on education. Finally, one after the other, special needs schools are beginning to spring up in different parts of Nigeria. Added to the list is the latest institute created in Lekki area of Lagos called Anthos House Special Needs Schools. Anthos House is a creation of Green Spring School, basically designed for quality teaching and learning for children with special needs. Over the years, special educational needs have always been a challenging area, as all conventional schools lack the resources and expertise to provide support for children with special educational needs in Nigeria. According to the principal of Anthos House, Dr. Kimberly Scollard, the school will care for children with special needs, including but not limited to autism spectrum disorder, dyslexia, cerebral palsy, attention deficit hyperactivity, and all of that. So, these disorders, she said, if left unattended in childhood, she hinted can negatively affect a child's ability to secure a job or maintain healthy relationships in the future. So that is it with the news. We'll take a quick break. When I come back, we'll be doing what's almost a review of a book. Don't go away, we'll be right back. Now, have you ever imagined picking up a novel to read with a very catchy title, then you discover that there is no author's name on that book? Isn't that creepy? So an anonymous author decides to reveal a lifetime of secrets in the unforgettable memory of a shattered life. Here is the mind-blowing book titled The Incest Diary. This is an upsetting account of a woman's relationship with her father, who raped her over the course of her childhood until she turned 21. This book is the most honest and provoking depiction of child abuse ever written. Evidently, the writer, who is a lady, tells her own story with deep passions in as much as she hides the rest of her identity from us. But she broke all rules in the business of writing. Without sequential arrangement of the plot, the account is so twisted, just like the mind and life of the storyteller. She recalls abusing her Barbie dolls, her sense of being a rival to her mother, and the mingling violence with desire, a tendency so crucial to the author's development that it continues to govern her adult relationship with other men. Now, this is not a story of things getting better like you will mostly see with other books, but it's an unflinching and staggeringly artful portrait of a damaged life. She writes, "Sex with my father made me an orphan." Further, she also showed us that her father threatened to kill himself if she ever told anyone of those episodes with her life. So with 144 pages, she has articulated an experience that for many victims remain unspeakable. The Incest Diary was released in July 2017. So this is it with almost a book review. Now, let's drift our attention a little bit to the main issue at hand. Issues of special needs. Quite disheartening that in Nigeria today, issues of physical and non-physical disabilities are yet a serious challenge due to negative attitudes. These attitudes mostly rise from the following reasons: unawareness, poverty, cultural and religious beliefs, lack of appropriate institutions, and insufficient specialists. For the second time, we are digging deeper into the issues of special needs in Nigeria. And to examine this situation, I'm now being joined by Segun Joseph, the chairman, Association of Intellectual and Developmental Disability of Nigeria, and Wumi Ahmed, parents of child with special needs. Thanks for joining me on the show.
Okay.
I need to begin with Wumi because this is actually the first time I'm meeting her.
Yes.
But Joseph, I have seen you a couple of times and I know how passionate you are with this issue of special needs. So beginning with you, you're a parent. You have a child with special needs.
Yes.
How did you discover that? At what point in that child's life?
I think from baby. What happened is that I had prolonged labor, then lead to emergency CS. So 5 months later, we discovered that he has cerebral palsy.
What were the signs that you saw?
The sign that I saw that he does not have neck control. Normal child is supposed to have neck control at the age of 3 months and started learning how to sit at the age of 4 or 5 months. So he's not achieving that.
Okay, Joseph, you had the same issue with your own daughter, like you told me. When did you discover your child's autism?
Maybe she was about 1. We were expecting her to be walking, and she was still crawling, walking. So the attention was drawn to that. Something must be wrong, but we still have to wait, Unfortunately, in that situation, you need an expert who will tell you exactly what's going on. When you can't notice any other thing, that the fact that this child is supposed to be talking or blabbing, and she's not doing any of that. Majorly the speech aspect.
Okay.
The speech aspect.
So you decided to meet experts, did you?
Yes.
At that point.
Yes.
So what did they advise you?
I was advised to go to therapy, and we start therapy immediately.
Did you learn any other things that you can do at home to help?
Here is the therapy.
The therapy?
Yes, physiotherapy.
Give me instances of such therapies.
How to massage, put him on a sitting position. I have to do a standing frame for him because his own at the age of 9 months is trying to sit. Okay. So I was advised not to do sitting frame, but I can do standing frame. So I go for standing frame, then teach him some other things, do some massaging, some exercise as well.
Yours was different?
Completely different.
But I need to also go further to the time when you began to consider school. Weren't you scared about the kind of school this child would fit into?
I'm not.
But at that point, this is a child with special needs.
Yes.
And you were not. Did you discover the kind of school that child would go at the early stage?
At the early stage, I think he started school at the age of 9 months. I put him in crèche as well, earlier, 9 months.
Normal crèche?
In normal crèche, school crèche, close to my area. Then I put him there, mix with other children, not special needs children as well.
And you weren't worried?
No.
At what age did your daughter begin school?
Actually, when normal, right from 1.5 years, we've been putting her around to the crèche too, nursery, went all along, but we just realized that she was so slow with academics.
Did you blame the teachers? Did you blame
No,
the
we
school?
knew something was wrong, so we're just looking for somebody who will understand her situation and go at her own pace.
All right.
And when you go to a private school, they will definitely want to assist. You understand? Because it's a special case now.
All right.
Then, so what we want to do is to make sure that she flows along, the teacher understands her, then we don't want to use the results to judge, because we know we have a case at hand now. And normally in such schools now, they want to encourage you that she gets promoted as the... But she went as...
That is also the problem that most parents and some other stakeholders do have. They want to encourage you by sometimes telling you lies about results, about improvement. Did you find out the real truth about the progress of your children? Starting with you, Wumi.
Yes, because they stay with me. My child stay with me. Before the teacher can tell me anything or the therapist can tell me anything, I get to know it first.
Does the results or feedback from the teachers conflict with your own discoveries?
Yes. Because teacher will not come and tell me that my son has A1 or 100% in some subjects, or
All right.
you're able to get.
Yes. You already know,
Yes, no.
but you're a parent, not teacher.
I'm a parent, I'm not a teacher.
So sometimes, development might differ. Development at home might differ from what that child is developing within the school four walls. So don't you think that it could be about another kind of story?
No, let's look at it this way. We are in a country where, the things are coming at different time. We're
Yes.
talking about some 20-something years ago when there was nothing on ground.
Okay.
And the issue was just coming up. It's something no parent prepared for.
Okay.
And when it happened, you have to go to the regulars first
Okay.
before you begin to look for an expert who can understand the situation and give you results. Now, when you already know now that there is a problem, you're not expecting results. What are you expecting from a child that you're just trying to help? So, even the teacher that's going to take care of that child, he just want to take responsibility of that, to just encourage you
Of
to
course.
accept the situation the way it is.
No, you-
You understand?
How does it feel getting so much sympathy from people, especially for your child and for you? How does the society treat you?
One thing I always say to parents like me is the first thing that you have to accept it yourself. Stop living in self-denials. Love your child. Maybe one thing that really helps me is that once I have that child and we discover his diagnosed that is cerebral palsy, and I was like, okay, what's the way forward? I'm able to accept it as, okay, this is what is happening. Let me control myself. And my husband was like, how is he going to cope? I said, don't worry. And as I'm going for therapy, I'm seeing another child. I encourage myself as well. So from outside, once you love that child, people will love that child. But when you started abandoning that child, you get it outside as well.
You're a woman and you speak strongly. Let me hear from a man this time around. How did you handle it from the early stage?
I want to look at this. Let's look at, like I said, we have a very abnormal situation here now.
Yes.
And we look at a society that is a strange thing to them. Because as the president of an association, I have seen how this has destroyed a lot of marriages, destroyed a lot of homes. Mothers have been sent packing because of issues like this.
Nobody can send you packing because you're the head
No,
of the family.
at the same time, I've seen men abandon their...
Yes.
Okay.
Wife
because of
abandoning
that.
their husband
We've
because
even
of
seen
child.
the case of the wife even was the one that abandoned. You understand? So
I
it
can't
is-
cope.
Like I said, no parent prepared for it. It was a rude shock when they saw it. And it's not something that you even see happen. And somebody is telling you exactly the situation of things. It's like a guesswork.
Oh.
Or people keep taking you from one level to the other, giving all kinds of, and the child continue to grow with that. Then it depends. Like I told you, if you put 1,000 of them together, their cases are different in 1,000 places.
Yes.
Wow.
So for me now, having gone through parents and see what they go through, I look at it from the worst situation. She's talking about a child that has cerebral palsy now.
Yes.
And she's talking about helping the child to stand or sit. We have some cases that they are bedridden, that they cannot move any part of their body. You understand?
Yes.
Now, if you have to bring that child out to the society, what do you expect from a society that such things is like a taboo? We have religious cases, we have issues from traditional, cultural, all kind of attack comes to that parent. So when you first accept, okay, you go against all the stigmatization you get from your doorstep to wherever you're going. You understand? So it's a case that no matter how you accept,
Yes.
you will still meet something that's going to hit you even as you
Hard.
grow up.
Yes.
Then a lot of people have started judging. Like what I have been hearing, that parents in such cases, they are sometimes very violent and very hostile. Isn't
Parents?
that true?
Parent hostile.
Yes.
No, we're talking about a society that is hostile to parent.
But the society is seeing it the other way around. That sometimes when you extend a helping hand to such parents, they turn out to be hostile. Are you mocking me? Do you think this is a problem?
That's why we're saying that they are not mad. When you say you're trying to help, you understand, what you consider help could look like a mockery to that person you're talking about. That's why I was saying that I try to make sure that let's understand the position of that parent first. You understand? We have cases in this country where taking care of normal children is so expensive for parents to handle. Now we're not talking about a situation of a child that is special. Then at the same time, it depends on the position of that child in that family. If she's the first one or the firstborn, he could still get a very good attention where they want to put all their resources to attend to that. But if it's the last of 5, where the parents have to take care of other children, you understand? So it's when people are talking, I look at it that you're talking from your own vantage position until you get into the shoes of that person. This is a country where if you have 3 people, employ 3 people, you give all of them the same amount of money. You understand?
Yes.
Every person's problem is peculiar to that. And so that 100 might even go from the day one somebody else receive his own, where somebody can still save from his own. You understand? So we're talking about a situation whereby you want to help. What kind of help
are you rendering?
Does that parent see it as
help?
And it could be coming at a time that that person has been so traumatized.
That's another case.
Yes. Because you are in a house where the neighbors are so hostile to you already. When the neighbor that has been so hostile to you and give your child a very, bad name, use all kind of things to relate back to you, suddenly come around and say he wants to help you.
All right. When we come back after the short break, we're going to be looking at the government assistance, the religious body and all of that, how much they have done. Then the institutions, whether they are in place or they're just facades. Don't go, we'll be right back. Welcome back. Still with me, Segun Joseph. He's actually a prince, but he's a parent and chairman of AIDDN and one of the parents of a child with special needs, Wumi Ahmed. We're talking about special needs issues, especially in Nigeria. Now, let's move to the government. Recently, we're beginning to see the government doing a lot. Not a lot, forgive me, but doing little now, unlike before, about children with special needs and generally people with special needs. Now, they're coming with raising schools, raising awareness. Lagos State is making a promise. We haven't seen something on ground, but for some private schools in Lagos, then some other parts of North, things are going on. What can you say about this? Let me begin with you, Wumi.
Government is really trying on their own parts, but they have not even started.
The journey is still far?
Yes.
From what you're seeing?
Yes.
Is it because it's private school and you're paying huge amount of money?
It's not because it's private school we are paying huge amount of money, but government have not even started.
Are you in any way considering that some kind of grant should be given to a parent like you? Some sort of support, material support and all of that?
Yes.
You need them. We
need them. Not I need them. We need them.
Let's hear from the chairman of AIDDN.
The position.
Yes. What do you think the government should start doing basically now?
Number one thing, government needs to listen to parents. Listen to parents first, because you can't stay in one office and begin to make some decision on behalf of people you have not really been so close to know what they're going through. That was the reason why, what moved me to form that association, so that would be a pressure group to be able to engage government, so that government will listen.
But government have been listening. Rumor has it that a person like you, Segun Joseph, has been tackling the government head on. Haven't they been listening with all your pressure?
That's why I said that. Okay, let me put it this way. Now, take for instance, the governor will go on air that they are giving employment to people with disability. 250 days, and this is very good news, specifically for people with disability. And I will go to the government secretariat and say, come, we thank you for this announcement. Now, where is the provision for our children? Because among the people with disability, our own is disability in disability. A blind person can express himself. He can find his way to Alausa and
person
to
with
engage the
polio.
government. Somebody with
Polio.
physical challenge, who's physically challenged, or the deaf, they will all walk to Alausa. Our children cannot. You understand? They don't even know what's going on around them. So that's why you need the parents who understand them and who can now engage government in whatever government wants to do.
All right.
Then I approached the Ministry of Employment, and they now told us that they want to start with career people. I said, what do you mean by career people? They said, with lawyers. And I said, how do you want children with special needs to become lawyer or to become accountant? I said, what's going on? I need to see the governor back. I said, you have to find a way. You understand now? So when you talk back to education, which is your area of, when you talk about education, it's not all our children that need education.
Really?
Yes.
What do they need?
And
Please
that's
tell
why
us.
I'm saying now that we look at the lifestyle, their complete lifestyle. Because for a child that has cerebral palsy, severe cerebral palsy, what that child needs most is this therapy that's going to help this child to even be able to manage his body. So what kind of education do you want to start talking to that child who is not sitting or who is not even...
All right, we are running out of time. There's a program that is coming up on the 22nd of this month,
Okay.
22nd of September. What is it
yes.
about?
Yeah, it's a sporting program.
Sporting program.
Yes, we're trying to use sports now to... We want to engage the grown-up ones in sporting activities that will bring them out of the house, that they are not going to be locked up in the house.
All
we want
right.
to create an all-round year sporting activities for them and use it to integrate them back into the society.
I learned that it's going to be happening at Teslim Balogun
Balogun
Stadium,
Stadium.
Lagos,
Yes. Yeah, on Saturday.
Sulere.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on this show. It's so insightful. Thank you very much, Wumi and Joseph.
Thank you very much.
So, for the assignment, what do you think the parents, the government, what do you think the government can do concerning special needs in Nigeria? So, you give me the answer on our Facebook, 4 Walls on Facebook. Until I see you again next time, God bless you and bye-bye.